All right, so FedEx just called me. They're on the way with the tractor trailer truck to deliver my very first Beacon frame order. So I got my tractor here. We're gonna go pick it up right now. Here it is.
Still missing you in that jacket.
Yeah, yeah.
How you doing today?
I'm good, how are you?
Hope you haven't been waiting long.
No, not at all.
Because I was gonna say, just wait in the house and I'll call you when I get here.
Yeah, no. I'm super excited for this. I'm launching a new product and
Okay.
it's my first order, so.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah.
What is it?
It's a solar powered radio. It's off-grid repeater, essentially.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's called Meshtastic.
Good luck with it.
Cool. All right, I'm gonna have to adjust the forks in a little bit, I think.
All right.
I'll grab the tractor.
Okay.
Do you need me to sign or anything? Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. You have a good day.
You too. Woohoo! Oh my God, this is so cool. Look at this. A whole freaking crate, like a legit crate. So I ordered these frames from Send Cut Send. Awesome company. You literally just like upload your files. You get an instant quote. Freight is included, like shipping is included in the price, and the price is super competitive. I priced out a local fabricator. You know, they had a huge laser and everything, and they were gonna do the frames. I really wanted to go with them because they're literally in the next town over, but unfortunately they were over double the price of Send Cut Send. So yeah, so that's why I went with Send Cut Send. I think these literally came from Ohio. All right, so I left my drill at the Atlavox shop. So we're using my 3/8 impact with an adapter to 1/4 inch drive with a 1/4 inch socket to one of these star bits. I can't remember what they're called. Let's open this thing up. And of course I knew that was gonna happen. It is so cold right now. It's like in the teens. Oh, last week was beautiful. I wanna open these up, check them out, because I did make a few changes, which is kind of sketchy because this was a batch. You know, there's 200 frames in here. So, you know, I hope everything's cool. But I want to open one up, test it out, and then I got to take this whole thing over to my powder coating company. Let's see here. More. Yes! Sour Patch Kids. I was wondering about this. When you buy something from Send Cut Send, they usually give you one of these little sour candies, but I got a whole pack. That's awesome. Oh, so cool. With smaller orders, they shrink wrap every individual part. I was worried they were gonna do that here. This is perfect. This is gonna be so easy. I don't even need to prep anything. So here's the antenna rail. This is what I kind of did a bunch of changes to make it so you can put the full, oh my God, I gotta get my other glove on. Okay, so you can tilt it this way and put the 32-inch antenna mounted right on here. So really excited to check that out. And I added some holes on each side as well. So awesome. So I'm gonna eat this, and I'm gonna grab a set, bring it to the shop. We'll test it out, and if everything looks good, we'll go ahead and bring this over to the powder coating company. So moving forward, I'm not gonna have the frame sent to me directly. I'll have it sent right to the powder coating company, but I wanted to make sure that, you know, everything was good to go before having it just shipped directly to the powder coating company, and if there's any problems or anything. So everything looks good so far, but I want to just do one kind of test assembly, just make sure, you know, the final, everything's okay, there's no surprises, which there better not be, because, you know, I just ordered 200 of these. So yeah, we'll see how it goes. So I think I'm gonna probably drop off that pallet tomorrow, just so I'm not going crazy today. So I just ran out of switches for the M1, but they should be coming in literally like any hour now, and then I'll be back on track. I don't know why I've been like really apprehensive with having too much inventory on hand, but I'm at a point now I need to just have plenty, so I'm not kind of cutting it down to like the last week or so. All right, so got an enclosure, antenna rail, back plate, and top, and my Sour Patch or Sour Punch stick. Everything is really unorganized right now. I really just made a few changes to the final design, but you know, there's always like the chance that during an export something else got messed up. So a little nervous that there's going to be a problem, but it should be fine. The major thing I changed is the size of this hole here for the pivot. So the way I originally designed it is I had a actual nylon, it's called a shoulder washer, I think. And I did that because I wanted this to be really smooth. You know, the pivoting of everything, all the parts, I wanted to be really smooth. But what I found was there's already, I think the resistance of like the powder coating and just the friction kind of overcomes any smoothness advantage I got out of the shoulder washer. And it actually was a disadvantage, not only for assembly, because it's a little cumbersome, but when you tighten this bolt, you want to be able to tighten it, you know, really tight and have as much friction as possible to lock everything in place. And what I found was the nylon was actually providing kind of some slip. So I eliminated those altogether. And so that involved resizing these holes for like a tight fit. And right now we're gonna test this out and make sure it's still good. Now I have washers, stainless washers, and split ring lock nuts on the way. I'm just gonna use these zinc ones for now because that's what I have. We'll put the antenna rail on there too. I just wanna test this first. So one thing that's cool is the nuts are pressed right in. So you don't have to fiddle with a wrench or nuts. You know, you don't have anything loose. It's literally just the bolt, which I really like. It's more expensive, obviously, because you're paying to have them press those in. There's like an arbor press that they use to press these in. But I think it's worth it because, you know, a lot of times when you install these, you're going to be up on a ladder or climbing something and you get your angle set. You don't really want to be fiddling with any more than you have to. And then I got these thumb screws, thumb bolts. These are stainless as well. I'll throw a nut, or I'll throw a washer on here too. It's looking good. It's looking good. All right, let's see. It's perfect. It is perfect. This is awesome. Oh my God. I was a little nervous. I was confident, but a little nervous that was going to be a problem. It's great. Very cool. All right, let's get this antenna rail on. So this was really cool because someone, I can't remember who, someone commented on, I think it was the last YouTube video I did, and asked if you get the big antenna. So I've got these 32-inch 5.8 decibel antennas, and you know, it's pretty big. So I don't recommend just mounting it directly to an N-type connector. It's just not enough. There's not enough structural kind of grip and strength to kind of hold this up. And so originally I was like, oh, you're gonna have to mount this separately. I've got these kits. I have one open already. So I've got these antenna mounting kits, which are nice. They're really nice. They you know, wrap right around the aluminum block here. You got a mounting plate that you can screw on here, and then you use U-bolts, or you can just, you know, bolt this to a flat surface or something to, you know, really securely hold this antenna. And so originally I was like, oh, well, you know, if you're getting the large antenna, you have to mount it separately. And someone was like, oh man, I really wish I could mount it all on the Beacon. And so I started thinking, I'm like, well, what if I add some holes for this on the rail itself, and like you just turn the rail 90 degrees. I think, if I remember correctly, I think you flip this around first, which we'll find out in a sec. And then you could mount the antenna right onto the Beacon and have it not be an issue. Actually, I think it goes on the inside. So that's kind of the first thing I want to check. And again, there are so many different configurations for the Beacon. You can have the antenna rail on the back hinge. You can have it on the front leading edge of the solar panel. You could even, if you want to go real low profile, you can just attach your, actually this is not the final version. Actually, yeah, I can show you right here. So here are the changes to the enclosure. You can see I spaced out the SMA connectors. So you have a greater distance between the LoRa connector and the kind of auxiliary SMA connector. You can use that for Bluetooth or GPS. On the front, it's very similar. There was just, I changed the graphic a little bit, just so it's more adaptable to small kind of position changes when it's being printed. So what I want to do is test the configuration of having this 32-inch antenna configured. So typically your antenna rail would be mounted like this, and you know, it can flip out of the way. It can actually go 270 degrees. So it can go like this, but the problem is if you're doing, if you're mounting an antenna, where are we? If you're mounting an antenna in here, it kind of clashes with the enclosure. So if you take this off, you flip it around 180 degrees, you can mount it this way instead. And so that's what we're gonna do to test out this antenna mounting position. I also actually just ordered a bunch of Allen wrenches, so I'll be including an Allen wrench with every Beacon order. Everything's good so far. That's awesome. I think I'm gonna do a split ring washer as well, like a lock washer. All right. Now, here's the question. Do you, because this is aluminum. It's thick, but it does have some flex in it. So I know this kind of looks ugly, but you know, technically you could put this, the mounting plate from the bracket behind here to provide more rigidity when you put the antenna thing on here. So that's an option. I'm gonna try it without and just see what that looks like. So this is gonna go on the inside, and this is threaded. So the holes are threaded. You don't have to do nuts or anything like that. I have a drill. Again, I can't remember who it was who recommended me getting one of these little drivers here. They're awesome. Look at this. You can actually turn it so you can go straight or like this, and it's gyroscopic. You pull the trigger and then you turn your wrist and you can go in reverse. So like you don't have to switch gear to go forward or reverse. It's just how you rotate your wrist. It's really cool. I thought it was kind of gimmicky at first, but it's actually very practical. You're never accidentally turning it in the wrong direction. So you know, you don't ever have to check the gearbox because it's always dependent upon how you twist your wrist. All right, so this, I might have gone too tight with some of these. I probably should be doing this with an enclosure mounted on here already, but since we're already here, this drill has a clutch on it too, which is nice. All right, that's pretty good. There's a little bit of play, but I feel like that would be the same whether it's on here or not. So like there's, check this out. So like there's a little bit of distance or gap between the back plate of the rail and the bracket here. Same thing on the other side. So it's not like I have one side tight and the other side's loose. And there's a little bit, I don't know if you could see that, a little bit of a wiggle. I'm gonna put one of these prototype solar panels on. This one doesn't have the right cable, but just to kind of have the physical form factor in place. So this is the configuration if you have the 32-inch antenna mounted. You've got the antenna rail flipped 180 and then you turn it down 90 degrees. That lets you install this antenna bracket with the antenna going all the way up there. So it just gives it a lot more support. Now, as far as connecting it to the enclosure, you wouldn't need the nut and the washers and stuff like that. So you're not mounting this to the bulkhead. You would just mount this directly to the antenna. So it would go right from the bottom of the antenna and you'd screw it right into the enclosure SMA connector. This will obviously be a waterproof cable that goes in through the solar gland there. Now here's the other thing cool that I added. I put some SMA holes on each side of the antenna rail. And so that'll let you take one of these cables, which I do have in stock. You can put this right in here. I'll just throw a nut on this real quick. And so you could set this up for your Bluetooth and connect one of these 90-degree Bluetooth antennas to the side. I don't have this super tight, but just to kind of demonstrate. So that's annoying me. Let me tighten that. So the SMA holes, by the way, they do have the flat spot, so you can tighten it without needing a wrench on the other side. All right, and then I can screw that on. And now you've got both your LoRa and your Bluetooth antenna, and they're spaced out, so you know, you kind of have as much distance as you can get. Let me show it to you without all that junk in the way. So that's what that would look like. So I like that, you know, things have space, the antenna is secure. This is a cool configuration. I like this. All right, guys, so I am completely satisfied with those few tweaks that I made. Everything's working perfectly, so I'm very relieved of that. So I'm gonna take this apart, bring it home with me tonight, and I think tomorrow morning I'm gonna bring all of these to the powder coating company. That way they can start doing that. And in the meantime, I've got like a whole list of additional components to come in. I still need the bulk order of my enclosures and a few odds and ends. And pretty much everything else is solid. I still need to select a little pad, like a foam pad for the battery, just to provide some insulation there. I think that's literally the last thing I need to do, and the whole procurement list will be done for the Beacon. And as soon as everything starts coming in, I'll be just going all out, getting these assembled for the pre-orders. So if you did pre-order one, I really appreciate it. If you are interested in buying one of these, I've got so much more work to do. Like, the product page is very simple right now. I'm not really showing all the different features and stuff. But, you know, I really want to showcase all the different configurations that you can do. But if you want to check it out, you can go to atlavox.com. I'll have a link in the description below. But that's going to do it for this video. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.